Okay, hopefully this is recording. This is my RTI project. Meet Joey, the student that I chose to create these interventions for. So Joey is a 14-year-old student. He has an IEP and is classified as communication impaired. He has difficulty remaining engaged in lessons. Some of his strengths are that he's excited to graduate middle school and to enter his freshman year of high school. He wants to have relationships with teachers and peers, and he loves and is good at basketball. So I tried to tap into some of these strengths and use them as motivators when creating this intervention for him. So data collection and the goal for our student. Within one 60-minute class, Joey interrupted his partner 8 times. Joey left his seat to go to the pencil sharpener, get a tissue, and use hand sanitizer 4 times. He read 3 pages of his book, and he asked to get a drink and then asked to go to the bathroom. So we're seeing a lot of disruptive behaviors and behaviors that are taking him out of his seat, taking him away from his work throughout a class period. He only read 3 pages of his book in a period where I'm assuming most of his peers are really reading like 15 to 20 pages. So the goal for the next 6 to 8 weeks is to get him to spend more time engaged in his work and to strengthen his communication with peers. This looks like he sharpens his pencil once at the start of class. He has tissues already at his desk. He has 1 interruption to his partner during discussion. He takes 1 bathroom/drink break in a period and is making progress in his independent reading about 15 pages of his book in a class period. This is his goal for about 6 to 8 weeks out after starting intervention. So why are these behaviors occurring? I found this really helpful resource when looking at some of his behaviors. You need to look at the function, the why, as to why these behaviors are happening. Sometimes these behaviors are happening because the student has a skill deficit or a performance deficit. So the skill deficit is a behavior or academic skill that the student does not know how to do. A performance deficit is something the student does know how to do but is not consistently doing it. I kind of use this as a reference while creating the intervention. So step 1, the intervention for work avoidance. The function of him getting out of his desk and doing things around the classroom is to avoid work. So the 2 strategies is to offer him a break, give him a break card that allows him to choose something that he wants to do after accomplishing a task. They should be motivational, such as a computer game, shooting basketballs in the gym with his paraprofessional, or going for a walk in the halls for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the task. And he would take this probably at the end of a period. And then there's also a daily report card that allows Joey and his teacher to check in with himself at the end of the period. And I'll talk more about this report card in the next few slides. So step 2, intervention for skill deficit. So him interrupting his partner is a skill deficit because he doesn't know how to communicate and work with his peers during discussion. So the strategy is actually kind of a tier 1 strategy. It's for the whole class, and it's for the teacher to go over discussion response starters that will help students when they're talking with one another, and then to have the students practice listening and responding in discussions with a partner. Here's an example of some sentence starters that Joey could use when he's having discussions with his peers. Action step 3, this is intervention for performance deficit. So Joey is able to read, but we're not seeing him consistently reading when he's supposed to. So we're going to offer him a scaffold that will help him get his independent reading done, and that's for him to listen to his book using an audiobook while he reads. So how is this RTI? Behavior RTI approaches focus on evidence-based practices that address the priorities identified for the student. So step 1, which was rewarding him with breaks, that's a tier 2 behavior practice because it's targeted just for him, it's support just for him. Action step 2 is modeling and guiding students through classroom discussions. That's kind of like best practices. So that's going to be tier 1. That's behavior practice tier 1 because it's an expectation and practice for the whole class. Action step 3 is providing a temporary support / scaffolding for the student. That's tier 2 because it's targeted just for Joey and the support that he needs. So, monitoring progress and communication with peers. The daily behavior report card is a great way to communicate with parents because we're going to send it home at the end of every day, and they can talk to Joey about it and see, you know, how he did with his goals. Here are some of the questions that I created that will be on the report card. The daily report card will look like this. It'll have questions, and he can answer yes and no to them. And then there's also an open-ended question at the bottom. The questions vary from week 1 to 3 and week 3 to 6 because hopefully he's, you know, continually progressing through this. The questions that differ is that with week 1 to 3, he's kind of allowed to have about 3 interruptions during a discussion with a peer, and the goal is for him to read 10 pages of his book in the class period. Where week 3 to 6, we really want to see he only has 1 interruption during a discussion with a peer, and he is starting to read 15 pages of his book in a class period. The questions that are the same are, did I sharpen my pencil once at the start of class? Did I already have tissues at my desk? And did I only take 1 bathroom break? The open-ended question is, what was your favorite break today? That's a way for him to kind of stay motivated and remember why he's working hard for this goal so that he can be able to participate and do things that he enjoys. And that is my plan.